Today is Wednesday, February 11th, and it's your lucky day because you have Agent Brenda and I taking over today's call. Willie and Brian, Willie and Brian are actually in appointments right now, so we are going to lead the call today for you guys, and I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about something that is a great way to get more listings. So we're going to focus today's call on geographic farming to secure more listings, and I have a very, very special guest, Agent Brenda. She is she's an associate broker at Miranda Real Estate Group. Last year, she was the #2 in our company. She is number 52 out of 3,800 in our MLS. So I'm so excited to have you on the call, Brenda, and to do this call with you and then get to interview you with questions afterwards. So welcome.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me here. And that 2 seems to be a dominant number in my life. With Agent Brenda 22 is my Gmail. Anyway.
Yes, it's all good things, right?
All good things.
I'm gonna bring up our course syllabus just really quick, just to review with everyone. And Brenda, let me know if you can see this.
I can. Well, I'm seeing the, oh, there it is.
All right, so for 2026 Masterclass, so we're just getting started, which is exciting. Our first module, which is marketing and advertising strategies, we are in that module right now. We did lead generation fundamentals and organizing your database. That was with Willie and Brian. And our class on January 28th was dominating your market with weekly emails. And we had Dean and Bobby on the call. So that was great. They showed us, you know, their process for sending out weekly emails and how to stay top of mind with their clients. So we're going to jump into today's call, which is the geographic farming. So I'm going to pull that worksheet up, and Brenda and I will take you through it. Hold on one sec here. Okay. Just getting everything set up here.
Doing great, Trish, doing great.
Thank you. Oh, I think I showed the wrong screen though. Hold on one sec. What Willie and Brian say? This is live TV, folks. There we go. All right, let me know, Brenda, if you can see it.
Not yet. Yep, there we go.
Can you see it? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So Brenda and I are going to take you through our worksheet today. So if you didn't get a worksheet, I did send this out late last night. If not, the recording, all of the documents that we go over, as well as this worksheet, will be added to our Facebook group page. So if you are not a member of the page, please email me and I will send that out to you. So we'll get started here on geographic farming. So this first point I wanted to make was Willie has a coaching member, Craig McDonald, who did this study. And basically what it was is it was a study on what consumers are looking to get for their content. And they're looking for 3 things is what the study came out to be. And it was, how much is your home worth? Oh, what did the neighbor's home sell for? And what events are going on in your area? So it's really important to have those call to actions offering what people, how can they get their home evaluation? They love seeing stats in their content. And I know, Brenda, you're going to kind of dig into this a little bit too on what's going on in their neighborhood, what are houses next door to them selling for, and then what are some local events that are going on in our community. So that's just kind of just a fun fact I wanted to share, that when you are doing marketing information and getting your message out to consumers, so just keep those 3 things in mind. But we will go on to number 1. So we put together a list. It's 5 strategies to get started geographic farming. So Brenda, do you want to take number 1 here?
Sure. Who is your farm?
I'll put them all up and then you can kind of talk about it here.
Well, like, am I supposed to know the answers?
Right.
So as with any big project, you're going to start big and you're going to dial in on the details. So the first thing you need to know is, who is your farm audience going to be? Who is that targeted group that you are looking to consistently get in front of? Start with your neighborhood and surrounding areas. If you are the secret agent in your neighborhood, I'm sure that's the top of your list to turn things around with. 250 house minimum if your budget allows for that, but don't let that number intimidate you. Just start with your neighborhood. Like my neighborhood is like 140-ish houses. Just start with that. We'll get into all that more as this all unfolds. Determine the average sales price in your neighborhood, and very important with that, the turnover rate, because if there's no turnover, you might want to go find a different farm, right? But we're going to speak more to that too. There's always a but.
Yes.
And then when obviously you should have a budget. You're not going to go into this financially blind. And then once you look at your budget, we can back out and figure what should your frequency be. And additionally, we're always concerned about competition, right? Is there already an agent in your farm that has 30% or more of the market share that you're looking to get?
That's great. And Brenda, do you find too, like with your frequency, with farming, I know the key is to be consistent. Whatever you do, whether you pick it monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, whatever you do decide on, the key is to be consistent. How many times do you mail out?
So EDDM is what comes to mind when I first think about farming. In farming, we've got all kinds of layers. But my EDDM, I do 10 times a year. I don't mail in December because the Postal Service will hate you. I kind of forgot about it and did it this year, and I wrote it in big number letters for this year. Anyway, not in December, and typically in July or August I don't, because people are at the beach.
Yep, that's perfect.
Usually July, because August they're focusing on fall again. So not in July, not in December, 10 times a year.
That's great. And I have, I just put an example here. So Russell Rhodes is a very successful team from Berkshire Hathaway out in Texas. He also happens to be a very good friend of Willie's, who is very good with geographic farming. And I just put a quote here that he said, and he said, our minimum turnover rate required for a farm is 5%. So for us to be interested in a 1,500 home neighborhood, a minimum of 75 homes would need to list annually. So just what you were saying before, if you're picking a farm and it is smaller or it is larger and there's really no turnover rate, it really doesn't warrant the marketing. So it's definitely key to research your farm and your neighborhood. All right, let's see here. All right, number 2. I'm just gonna fill those in. So getting your list. So a key, what we do is, Brenda mentioned every door direct mail, and that is through EDDM or the United States Postal Service. So they can help you find a carrier route within your farm that is associated when you're mailing out your content. And Brenda's gonna kind of share with you a mailer that she just recently sent out and break that down for us. But it is a very cost-effective way. Typically, it's about 25% per flyer to mail them out, which is great. There's another way too. You can use your local MLS to get addresses for your farm. This could be exported and converted to a CSV file in Excel, and then it could be uploaded to another platform that you're using to mail out. And another option is using Quantum Digital, and that can actually do a 250 household radius around your home. So you'll also have access to this list after your mailing, but there are different ways to go about getting your list. It just really it matters what you want to, how you want to get it out and who are you targeting. So just kind of being mindful of that. And I'll
I will say it's always great to have a friend, more than one friend within the recipient list.
Yep.
I'm gonna throw some shade on the Postal Service right now. There was one time the postman put like 20 plus flyers in one mailbox. Luckily the neighbor called me and she was respectful. She's like, I know you spend money on this, so I wanted you to know what was happening.
Which is great.
It is great. So it's not a bad thing to kind of follow up with people too. Hey, did you get my flyer? That sort of thing, if you know people on the route.
That's
And also
great.
be
Yeah.
very friendly with your own postman, because he's like, oh, I saw that I've got a delivery this weekend, and you know, he was actually excited about it, which I was grateful for.
Yes.
Anyway, we digress.
Definitely.
Oh,
Do you want
so
to take away
right,
number
so
3?
design your content, yes, and this is, you know, whether I use Canva. Obviously, I think we're all familiar with Canva as a great marketing partner. You can use a VA or use other websites such as Fiverr. Use the marketing department at your own brokerage and make sure it's compliant. You know, with thousands of agents in your market, if it's our market, I don't know where else y'all are from, but anyway, you know that there's tons of agents within your market, and rest assured, they're going to pay special attention to your flyer when it ends up in their mailbox.
So true. And I know we're talking about every door direct mail. You can on the facing slips put the addresses of people that you don't want them to go to, but again, you're at the mercy of the person who's delivering your mail. So you just want to be thoughtful and make sure that anything that you send out to any consumer is compliant.
Right.
All right. So now we designed our content. Now we have to talk about mailing our content out. So it is a little bit of a process, but once you kind of get it down, it becomes, you know, second nature. So the next part is mailing out your content. So there's different platforms that you can use to mail out your content. So what we're talking about right now is Every Door Direct Mail, EDDM, which is through the United States Postal Service. So you get these flyers printed, you yourself sort them, and then you drop them off at the post office, and then they take care of mailing it out to the consumers.
Yeah,
the next one is,
exactly
go ahead. Yeah.
They tell you exactly, you know, needs to be in 50 piece bundles and the face sheets. They map it all out for you quite nicely.
Yes.
Yeah.
The second one is quantumdigital.com. So this is a little bit more, this is a little bit easier to do as far as like the work involved in it. You can just design it in Canva and you can upload it and send it out. However, it will be a little bit more expensive per piece. So that's just something to take into account. And itidirectmail.net is also one where you can just design the content. You can upload it right to their website. You can upload your list with a CSV file of who you want to get it to, and then that will take care of everything. It'll print it out, it'll mail it out, and so it's a little bit easier, but it is more expensive to do it this way. So EDDM is very cost effective. Quantum Digital, I like personally for postcards. If you're doing like a postcard, and the itidirectmail.net, I personally like if it's like multiple sheets, like a 3-page newsletter or something like that. But those are just kind of some other tips just when you are using different platforms.
You're using, for postcards too, I use Prospect Plus.
Yes, I've heard great things about that as well.
Yep. So follow-up marketing content. Your yearly marketing calendar. I trust that everybody has their 2026 marketing calendar already on their desk, and you're referring to it every month. And you're going to select the months that you're going to be mailing out to your farm, and then decide on the content or events for your mailing.
Perfect. And does anybody have any questions just before this is the end of our worksheet? If you have any questions, just put it right in the chat and we'll answer them. But I just want to get into that just before we start interviewing Agent Brenda on some of her farming, and she's going to give us her background with it. Okay, just waiting here. Any questions at all?
They have tons of them. They want to hear from me first.
All right, so I'm going to stop sharing that. Let me see here. All right, so Agent Brenda, before I pull up yours, I just want to know, can you share a little bit of background? How did you get started with farming? Like, what made you want to decide to do farming?
At some point during my career, I heard that we were supposed to farm, right? And with my employee background, employee-based mindset, we're told to farm, so Brenda goes and farms, right? I also did not want to drive by signs in my neighborhood from other people. Now, does that mean there's never a sign from another brokerage in my neighborhood? No, we've got like 4 agents in our neighborhood, but I can tell you I'm the one that dominates. And I love that. There was one summer, I think I had 4 listings at one time. No pressure driving in and out of my neighborhood.
Yes.
But anyway.
And
Yeah.
you are the #1 agent in the Scotia Glenville district. I mean, this is going on year after year after year now. Like,
yeah, I think we're 9 years now.
I think it is. I think
Yeah.
it's 9 years. So that's incredible, but that's definitely part of like getting your name out there, building that brand. And it's probably, do you think farming has helped contribute towards that as well?
Absolutely. So I was not always a real estate agent. So when I first came to real estate 16 years ago, I had to transform my identity, if you will. So it was important to get stuff out there and let people know, hey, I'm a realtor now. So I started this years and years ago. The EDDM specifically, it looks like I started in 2020. But before that, it was just a matter of getting out into my community. I had the blessing of having younger kids when I got into the industry. They were in 2nd and 7th grade, and I was involved. I was making copies for teachers at the school. I was on the softball board. I was on Friends of Music. I was on the PTA board. Everything that was available, I did it so that my name became a household name. I think we have to think of geographic farming as not just spewing a bunch of flyers out to your neighbors. It has to be more than that. And what you want is that layering effect so that wherever you go within the community, I see you everywhere. And isn't it funny that we often hear that the most when we're like sitting at home twitching that we don't have enough business? And then people are like, oh, I see you everywhere. I'm like, you do? Oh yeah, you do.
Right.
But those flyers can work. So specifically the EDDM, I send out about a little over 1,600 units 10 times a year. So it's not a ton, but it's consistent on those streets. Okay, it's what is it, 4 routes? Yeah.
And let me pull this up for you, Brenda, so that everybody can kind of see what we're talking about. Can you see that?
Yes. Yep.
So here's Brenda's EDDM. Brenda, you want to take us through it?
Sure. I always just put something that's seasonal on the top. You know, is winter over yet? The last one was Happy New Year. And then just some quick little stats. How many active listings, already under contract, and year-to-date closed listings. That's page 1. Very simple. On the, but wait, there's more.
There's more. And Brenda, where's all these stats? Where are you getting all these stats? Just so everyone knows.
I'm pulling them from our MLS.
Perfect.
Yep. Then, and I'm pulling just, you know, the way my brain is. I can overthink some of the stuff. I just do it. Our school district for the for single family homes.
Perfect.
That's it. Then the average sale price, the average sale to list price ratio, and then the average days on market.
That's perfect.
On the
so this is the same template. So you use this all the time. So it's really just plug and play now.
Plug and play. I use this on, it's on Canva, plug and play. I mean, literally within a half hour, the entire thing is done.
That's great.
Yep. I send mine out on hot pink cardstock.
Yep.
So now, even if it goes directly from the mailbox to the garbage, they saw it. In the beginning, I was doing it a seasonal color, you know, green for spring or burnt orange for the fall. And now I'm like, nope, that consistency helps with that brand awareness. And pink is not my brand at all. But for this, I'm like, I want it to pop out of their mailbox.
But it sticks out because when you get it, and for anybody who has received an EDDM before, I mean, it literally gets delivered to every door. So, I mean, it sticks out. If you have a bright color, it is sitting in your mailbox. You see all the other envelopes or other mail, and then you can see it. It's bright pink, sticking out, and it's hard for people to miss.
Yep, exactly. I've fluctuated a little bit with what I do in the back. I have put a recipe on the back, but we are not cooks. But the main thing is you want, I was thinking you want people to hold on to this so that they have your information. So I usually put a little snippet on the top, just about like me talking to the recipient about what's happening in the market. So some talking points. And then that like, keep it, the tool like the winter home maintenance reminders, or that might be where the recipe goes. Then I have a lot of people, they'll say, Brenda, I have no intention of moving. I know you do. So I think it was last year, even the year before, I put a little snippet in there about what is EDDM and why the heck do you get this flyer? So I don't know if you can read it, but why do you receive this flyer? I send this flyer through a service of the U.S. Postal Service called EDDM. You may have no intention of ever moving, but I enjoy sharing general market information with you so that you know what's happening and how it may impact your asset. I hope you find it interesting. Now,
that is a great idea.
And if nothing else, it's just like, oh, okay, she's not trying to sell me.
Yep.
One of my listings last year, the photographer and I were outside, and the guy across the street waved me over and he goes, hey, are you the girl I get the flyers from? Yes, sir. Yes, I am. He said, we're not moving, but I'm going to let my friends know if they are. And I was like, okay, this is good. And every single month that I send this, I can assure you all that I question whether I should invest the time and the energy and the money to send it. But I'll give you another story. Last month, I went on a listing appointment. I did not know these people. They maybe live a mile up the street. Never met them before. We have no common friends or family or anything. He said, I told my wife when it was time to sell the house, we're calling you. I was like, really? Who else are you interviewing? He said, no one. We're not interviewing anyone. You know our market.
Wow.
And
that's awesome. And so you didn't even know it because he had been getting those for years. And you were staying top of mind with him the entire time, and you had no idea he felt like this until he raised his hand.
Right.
That is so great.
So like I said, I doubt myself every month that this is a good investment, but all I needed was that one appointment. And I was like, okay, I have to keep that top of mind, because all you need is one closing a year and it's paid for.
More than covers the marketing, right?
Yeah.
And the mailing. That's great. And Brenda, we have a couple of questions here. So Catherine is wondering, what if you were a new agent and you don't have stats like that yet? Those are just stats from the MLS, correct?
Those are MLS stats. Those aren't your stats. They're MLS stats.
Perfect. So if she's new to being an agent and real estate industry, she can easily do this in her neighborhood.
There is nothing in this content that is reflective of my experience or production, if you will. Perfect. It's all just information, right?
Yep.
That makes sense, Catherine.
Yes, it does. That is great. So anybody can do it. She said, okay, awesome. I have another one from Nikki. How many years have you been farming the same neighborhood?
I've lived here since 1822. The EDDM routes I have been consistently doing this will be my 6th year.
6th year, wow.
Yeah, but I know, so I went into real estate in 2009. I know that I was sending out postcards to my neighborhood. I think it was through Prospect Plus. I just sent out general postcards, because one of the very first listings I had in this neighborhood, she said, the first postcard we got, we saved it because we knew we'd need you someday.
Yep, that's great.
So how long have I been farming this neighborhood? Well, I've been in real estate 16 years. I'm going to say, I'll give myself some grace and I'll say 14 years.
That's great. That's awesome, Brenda.
The thing about it too, though, is it's not just postcards and flyers or whatever. I want you to think of this again as layering. You know, I
Yep.
send an ice cream truck around my neighborhood. I will admit we didn't do it last year, but I did it a couple of years prior. My sponsorship banner is on the fence down at the softball league. And I had a neighbor who sold a couple of years ago. I had never met her until she called me for an appointment. So I said, you know, thanks for calling me. And she said, oh, of course I'd call you. You've sponsored my kids' team for years. It's
So
that
that's
whole,
great. It's just,
yeah.
it's like you said, it's the different layers. They're seeing you all over, right? They're in the softball field. They're getting the EDDM from you. But talk about also your pie event. You also do that at a local place as well.
Yep, a Glenville pub. We fill it with snacks and drinks and people and pie.
Yes. So
Every
everything,
Sunday before Thanksgiving. And that's, you know, a lot of my, I think like most of us, most of our clients are really who we know. We already have relationships, right? And then it just grows from there. Yeah, so there's a lot of people in my community that have already used me and are my referral base for other people.
that's great. So Brenda, I got a question for you. So we've seen this before. Now people, you know, realtors send out flyers, right? And then they get one or two people that may call them and screaming, yelling, they're never moving. They're, you know,
Or posting a Google review. I would never have her sell my house because of all the junk mail she sends me.
Exactly. What's your advice? Like, have you ever gotten somebody who said that they didn't want to receive your flyer anymore, or were rude to you about it, or didn't want to sell, and did it stop you from farming?
Well, obviously it didn't stop me.
Well, I'm glad it did.
Two scenarios come to mind. One is that 1-star Google review that I have finally flushed out. But she posted a public complaint that I send way too much junk mail. Again, 10 pieces of paper a year, kids.
Right. And educating the public.
Yeah, exactly. And she actually was what prompted me to add that, why do you get this? Which I think was a valuable addition to it. So I thank her. She helped me get better. The other one that comes to mind is there was a gentleman whose mother lives on one of the routes, and she has some dementia, and every time she got it, she was agitated that she was going to be moving. So I explained to him that I can't guarantee it, but I will add you to that list of that you mentioned, Trish, on that face sheet, so that they don't get that that flyer. And that's really it. So out of 1,600 plus for 10 months, for years upon year, I can think of 2.
And I know Willie talks about it too. Like there have been agents who have gotten, you know, they're mailing out, and then they get a bad response, and then they all of a sudden stop doing it. And then they notice that, you know, they were getting listings in that farm, in that neighborhood, because they've branded there for so long, and then all of a sudden it stops. So the advice is to keep mailing.
Keep mailing. It's going to hurt, but like anything, like we're supposed to celebrate for 24 hours, right?
Right.
Do the same thing, like let it go after 24 hours. So
yes, I love it. All right, so we know that you send out 10 months mailers a year, 10 months out of the year. You're using the EDDM through the post office. How do you source or create your content? Like, I know you kind of talked about it a little bit, but do you get like any like inspiration from anything? Or like, I know you stick with the stats, but on the Hello Neighbors, like how do you develop that content? Where do you get it from?
if I'm really stuck, I've used ChatGPT. Like, give me something quick to include on a flyer. You know, give me, like, I think the winter maintenance tips, those were ChatGPT. Give me 4 winter maintenance tips. Or I've done, give me an easy recipe to include on a real estate flyer. Yeah. So let AI be your friend. And like the top part, that's just me. That's just me talking.
Yeah. No, I love it. I think that's great. Brenda, we do have some, okay, so Nikki said, she said, so true, consistency and commitment. I love it. Thank you. Could you go back to the ice cream truck in the neighborhood? do you just put your banner on the truck, or do you actually have it at one place like a park? Maybe kind of explain a little bit more about the ice cream truck event.
Yeah. So the ice cream truck event, I send a postcard out to the entire neighborhood saying the day and the time. And then I follow the ice cream truck, and I have a bag with like my swag in it, and the ice cream truck goes through the whole neighborhood doing their little ding-a-ling song, and people come out. It's funny, a lot of them come out and I'll say, it's on me, as they start to get their wallet out. They're like, what? I'm like, didn't you see the postcard?
Right.
But it's a great opportunity to meet neighbors, catch up with neighbors. Yeah, it's fun. But no, we walk the whole neighborhood.
That's great.
Next time I do it, I might have some defined times, kind of like the fire trucks do with Halloween and the cider donuts. Like they put signs on the corners, but I haven't evolved like that yet.
Yes, that's great. So Nikki said, thank you. I've been wanting to do this for a while. So that's awesome. No, that would be great in your neighborhood.
Yep.
Catherine has a question. Wow, I love the questions we're getting. This is great. Catherine said, what about if you are farming a neighborhood you don't live in? Any suggestions?
Well, that's okay, because remember, I'm sending out more than one route. There's only one mailing route that I live in. The other ones are part of my town. And I'm a community member. So yeah. And again, Catherine, there's nothing on that content that says, because I live here, I know this. I could live on any street in the community. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But I am designating myself as your community expert, and I'm sending out this flyer.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Mary also wanted me to point out too that you did a great job with having so you have your stats on there. So when you are mailing out, making sure that it's compliant, you're saying that the statistics are coming from Flex MLS. You have the disclaimer on there that, not intended to solicit listed properties. If your house is already listed, please disregard this mailing. So she was just kind of mentioning how you did such a great job with being compliant and ensuring that.
Thank you, Mary.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Mary. These are all great questions. So Brenda, we know that you've been farming consistently for a long time. Can you give us any success stories of listings that you've had, or do you know how many listings that you've gotten from farming, or is there an average per year? I know sometimes it's hard to track because you could receive referrals or a lead from somebody, but they're getting your mailers. So is there an average per year, would you say, or?
It's so hard because a lot of the flyers, I'm thinking of an appointment I went on last weekend, and I get your flyer, right? Yeah. But they also were friends with clients of mine that live across the street. So they had called them to get my number, but they get my flyer. So it all kind of goes together, right?
Right.
And then I had that one last month that, I told my wife we would use you when it's time to sell.
Right.
I had a conversation with somebody today following up on an appointment in July. But anyway, and I said, now remind me of it. It was for her mother's house, but I said, remind me of your mailing address. And she said, oh, and she told me, and I said, oh, you're right up the street. And she said, right, because I get your flyer. So
it's hard.
It's hard to quantify, but consistency pays off. And that's why what you said earlier, like we're at what, number 9, the 9th year of being leading real estate agent in the community. I mean, I guess that, yeah. It all intertwines.
Yeah, and I know it's hard too, because they're, and they could also receive your flyer, and then they're part of the ice cream truck, and then so it's it's hard. It's all those different layers that are definitely contributing to people raising their hand to work with you. But the thing I love about just talking about the EDDM is you're targeting sellers, right? You're leveraging your time with sellers.
None of us want any more buyers, do we? It's painful.
Right. Yeah, and we do.
We do.
But Brenda, share a little bit, I guess, about that, about your experience. It's kind of also thinking smarter, right? Not harder. You're trying to leverage your time in almost like that work-life balance by targeting sellers and stuff, and by targeting people who are located in the same vicinity of where you live. Like there's definitely an efficiency with that.
Absolutely. And I've thought about this a lot, Trish, because when I think back to the start of my career and the places I would go, oh dear Lord. And everybody knows I'm that 5-minute late girl. Everybody knows. And it just, anyway, when it's close to home, I'm early.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And so, yeah, work smarter, not harder, right? And obviously we're all, yes, we love our buyers. You know, I'm
Yep.
just mostly kidding. But but isn't it better to sit home in your flannel pants and collect offers than to be traipsing through snowbanks with buyers?
Right.
Right.
And if there's anything, you gotta let the inspector in, let this person in, let that person in. It's like, it's right in your community. I just feel like there's such a efficiency, not only with your time, but also when you are marketing right near your house and your home.
Right.
Where you
Something's
always
wrong
are.
with the lockbox, you can run down and, you know, oh, not a problem. I can be right there.
Yes.
It is in, and you as the listing agent can help excite buyers, if you will, who maybe their agent isn't as familiar with your community.
Yep.
I've had a lot of those interactions. Like I'll usually pop in on inspection day, you know, and do the meet and greet. And then I'll start talking to them because I'm the kid that lives in the same neighborhood as her parents. My kids sat in the same band chair that mom did, right?
Right.
But I can talk to them and get them excited about the community. So they hear a different perspective beyond just the 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath Center Hall Colonial that they're buying in a neighborhood.
Right. And you can talk about like the community, like how it's grown or like new things to the neighborhood, like because you have lived there so long. You have so much knowledge on that area, which is great.
Right.
Brenda, we got another question. So from Michael, rough costs for the EDDM. And I know it's a couple of different things, so.
A couple different things. We've got the paper,
Yep.
which make sure you get a Rakuten account. And then when you log into that, if you use Office Max or Walmart or whatever, you'll get a certain percentage back and grow that every day or with every purchase. And then you're paying for the USPS routes. In round numbers for my 1,600, it's between $500 and $600 a time.
Yep. That's great. And I know I did the math recently on EDDM. It's about 25 cents per mailer for the postage, I believe.
Yep.
So I mean that's very cost effective. I mean that's a great deal for what you're getting to.
Yeah.
And then as far as like the paper, like where do you get the paper from?
I get it online.
Okay. Do you get it right from like Amazon, Walmart, Staples, any like?
Depends on my mood. Pick one. I'm in a kind of Office Max, then I have rewards points, you know.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people use Walmart. That's very cost effective.
Yeah.
Sometimes certain sites don't have the pink that I want, but yes.
Perfect. And do you want to talk about, so Brenda, do you find too that like with ours, like it has to be like the 65-pound cardstock? Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I use a 65. There was one time when I brought it to the postal, and they said you could use a lighter one, but then the next time they're like, I just do the 65-pound.
Same.
And also that's going to stand out better in the mailbox too, instead of a flimsy piece of paper.
Yes. Yep. And guys, that 65-pound cardstock is just, it's cardstock basically. It's just thicker weighted paper. And then Brenda's just getting it in pink, which is, so it sticks out.
Yep.
Brenda, we got more questions.
Yay. You guys are
Have you
awake
ever,
today.
this is great. I love the interaction. Have you ever used Prospect Plus for EDDM or just for postcards?
I've only used them for postcards.
Right.
Yep.
I do know other services do like the full service EDDM, but again, guys, like that, it will be a little bit more. Like if they're doing all the work and stuff, it's a little bit more money. But if you do, you know, if you take care of the content and the printing and facing and slips and stuff like that, it's just all about what you want to pay for it. You know, it's a little bit less. Jill said, do you fold the cardstock? Do you want to talk about a little bit about the process, Brenda?
So I use a local printer and they will batch it for me in those, is it 50 or 100?
Usually we do like hundreds.
Hundreds, okay. And then it just gets, you walk in to the postal service, with the piles and the face sheets, and there they go. They process it on their end and you're good to go. I pay for it online, so don't have to whip my credit card out or anything. And so like usually on like a Monday, I'll buy the roots, I'll adjust the Canva template, and then it's going to be delivered to the post office that next Saturday.
Yep, no, that's perfect. That's perfect. So I think that answers Zach's questions too. How do you pass it off at the post office? Wow, yeah, oh, I'm sorry, Brenda, I'm just trying to keep up with the questions here. That's great. Catherine just made a comment. She said for her, it would probably be best to use a vendor. It would leave her a little bit of time to work on other things with her business. So that's great, Catherine. Whatever works best for you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Jill said, is there a template it needs to be in to be compliant with the post office? They do, I mean, they do have steps online.
That biggest thing is that, what's it called? Indicia.
I'll share it again. Yep, let me bring it up one more time so Brenda can share this. Sorry guys, there we go.
Yeah, so if you go to page 1.
There we go. So let me move this over and go to page 1. This is the most important thing. So 65-pound cardstock paper, and then this.
Yep, the upper right-hand corner, that's it. And then everything else we built the template around.
And you can get this off of the USPS. If you go under business on USPS.com and you go to EDDM, it will show you a copy of the indicia. You just need to make sure that this is on before you print them out, because if it's not, they're not going to take it, because this is showing that you've already paid the postage. Jill said, thank you. Let's see. Mandy brought up a,
when you buy the roots, the postal service will send you, all the facing slips, and they do outline quite nicely what they need from you to make it all happen.
Yes. Yeah. And once you get through those steps, like, I mean, it seems a little bit like at first, whenever you're doing anything new, it's like, okay, it's this step, that step, but then once you get it, it's pretty easy.
Right.
And Mandy had mentioned you can create a free account as well on USPS.com. You just create that account. They have an EDDM online tool that you put in an address that you're looking to target. You use that, select the carrier route, you put it in the cart, and then you can pay for it right online. I think it's easier to pay for it online so that when you go to the post office, they just scan it, they weigh your flyer, and they take everything.
Exactly. And make sure that when you're getting the addresses, you're going to get only the residential ones. You probably don't want it to go to businesses.
Yes, that's a good point. That is a good point. Brenda, Diane said, do you print 2 to a page, or is this a 9x11 postcard? What size do you send? Or 8.5 by 11, she said.
It's that standard paper, 8.5 by 11.
Yes.
It's just standard front and back.
Yes. And Brenda, do you do it in color or black and white on the?
Well, that's one reason why I use that hot pink paper, and then just black, black and pink.
Perfect. So
they're going in the trash.
Yeah.
They're going in the trash. I have to stop myself a lot. Like, okay, Mayette, you spent enough time on this.
Right.
One is good enough, right?
Good is good enough.
In the trash. Let's
not
kid ourselves.
Yes, so Diane, that is correct. So Brenda just said, so it's going to be the 65-pound cardstock on 8.5 by 11. And what she does is it's hot, bright pink paper, and she's printing on both sides of the paper, just in black and white.
Yep. And nobody in the Capital Region market better steal my pink.
Yes, guys, you got to promise us that. Brenda, just some last minute questions here. If there's an agent that's looking to farm, they're just not sure how to go about it, what's the advice you would give them?
do that research that on
Yep.
the worksheet we spoke of up front.
Yeah.
Always keep your why top of mind. Like,
Mhm.
why am I going to go in and attack this neighborhood? I think ideally you need some kind of connection there, but I think that's just a personal thing. That's my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
And then just go after it. But remember, nothing is going to happen from one flyer. You need to make that commitment and maintain that consistency. And keep in mind those little stories that I told. A lot
Mhm.
might be happening with people that you're not going to know until it's their go time, right? So just, I guess, keep the faith and trust the path and
Yes.
just do it.
I love it. Keep the faith and trust the path. I love that. That's great. I love that. Guys, does anybody have any other questions for Brenda just before we go? And Brenda, if anybody has any questions about farming or they just want to reach out to you because they have questions, what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
Well, I'm glad that our page 1 is up here. There's my cell number. Text or call me. There's my email, agentbrenda22@gmail. I'm on Instagram, agent.brenda. I'm on Facebook, Brenda Mayette, real estate agent. Those are the two best sites to get a hold of me.
Awesome. And Brenda, before we go, we've got one more question. Do you ever add any personal business info, like just sold in your neighborhood or anything like that to it? Great question, Mary.
That's a great question. I will add just listed and just sold cards as appropriate if they're in that farm.
Okay, so like separately.
Right.
Separately, okay.
Right. And that is one of the things that I've played with, that I've wondered about on the back. You know, should I use that as a like hot new listing? But that is what the back could be for. You know, if you've got a hot new listing or you had a great success story of getting something under contract or a recent sale, use that on the back. But to Catherine's concern earlier, if you don't have anything yet, you know, you don't have those success stories to share yet. On the back also, I will often put a testimonial. The testimonial doesn't have to be from somebody in my farm, right?
Right.
It can be from anybody. Yeah.
That is great. Awesome. Well, Nikki said, thank you so much for sharing your gold.
Thanks for being here and listening.
Yes. So I think that is it. I don't see any other questions coming in, but Agent Brenda, thank you so much. This has been such a great call, so interactive, such great information and content. So thank you so much. And oh, more coming in. Thank you, Brenda and Trish. Yes, this was a great call. So guys, as always, this is going to be on our Facebook group. I will tag Brenda as well in case you want to connect with her, or you have any questions for her, but I hope everybody has a great rest of their week. So thank you again. Take care.
Thanks to be here.
Yes. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.